Get the deeply awake. We have a bit of a healing to repart. We said there would be an activation, and Lord, has there been a healing, we would say. Confronted two of quite similar ilk, we would say. What was said was important for each, and healed both. Not stern words, but clear ones of wisdom and of truth. Three involved in this conversation. As is often the case with healings. Tonight this one will be celebrating this great healing. Concerned was she to attend due to such despondence. These feelings were shared because the path was so similar. It would have been inappropriate not to discuss. And in so doing, each saw the mirroring of the lives and the sharing of this was pivotal, initiated by us, we. No accent. The second time such a healing has occurred between the two. With us. Is it possible for two people to walk away from a conversation, walking straighter, knowing themselves to be taller for all time? We say the act of reflection after such a conversation is wise, because it reverberates, it continues to heal. Seeing in another one's own pain and struggle and fear and anger and resentment, with each fluidly experiencing that this is understandable, appropriate even, but in the end, how do we leave this? How do we go forward? with these conundrums in our lives. With sharing, it was quite easy to see that the paths that go forward for each are dissimilar. But the expression nearly identical. What must occur in this present becomes clear to each by the simple sharing of their truths in a way that is non-defensive and transparent, done in trust and goodwill and humor and dirty words galore, making no one wrong. But clearly stating when an error in logic was evident, one which erred on the side of hate or fear. Do you see? This is how the healing is done. By simply stating reality and doing so in a non-ashamed way. It is amazing what was accomplished. And so, without fear, and with celebration and gratitude, the path becomes clearer. As preferences are honored, and as authenticity to self endures. Never nullifying or cancelling out love in any form, honoring its exchange, honoring its healing power and its gifts. So, going forward, each now know the way, and upon reflection, and perhaps even celebration, the next part can begin for each. So, it is nice to have some help, huh? Yes. Have you had such an experience? When maybe something just kind of comes over you and you say something that you normally wouldn't say, or you reach out in a certain way, or do something that seems outrageously out of character or whatever. Interesting. These inspired actions, when they have the breath of God in them. So, not impulsive acts, acts of impeccability. There is a difference. But impulsivity that has been marinated in wisdom, in genuine and true intuition, in understanding of certain truths, well, an inspired life may ensue. This is a magical way, that of the heart, that of insight, that of true goodwill, brotherhood, that of respect, integrity, and honesty. This level of intimacy can be had without a sense of being invaded, we say. This one practices it and has wonderful social interactions for the most part. She's becoming more comfortable with herself and with our mandate to her. One that was given to her in 2011 when she finally snuck out of the house and waddled into the church, scared out of her mind. Yes, such a thing, even in 2011, going by herself to a church that practices inclusivity and divine universal love and stuff. Holy crap. Panic City. It got easier, and we told her as she went through that lobby, that huge lobby, look for the fearless ones. Look for the fearless ones. You can see them because they have a light, and it's tall, even if they're short. Look for the fearless ones. Well, we would say the disbelief and fear, well, they take a long time to winnow out sometimes. Part of the coding, you could say, but part of the social structure, part of the belief structure, whatever. But she's alive on the inside. Verdant, lush, real, authentic, risk-taking, and at times petrified of what other people think. Do you know why? The turning away is still there. It's never going to go away. We've talked about the turning away for years. And sometimes the closer a person gets, the turning away turns into running away. It just does. Do you know that this one has said goodbye too far? Man, in not very long time, the last leaving the state without saying goodbye. But it's okay. She's so happy for him. She left a little note saying, I'm so glad for you. Goodwill to you and your whatever, you and yours. Bye. And both he and his girlfriend liked it. Well, that's good. But she has seen this again and again and again. And a general, once again, she's been moving through a general zone where people respond to her in ways she doesn't expect. And she responds in ways she doesn't expect she will. A growth spurt, maybe? Who knows? However, this one was. She went to sleep crying last night. Oh. Because she was convinced that what she has seen around her the last few months and what she has experienced for what we would say is a lifetime is what she can expect in the future. And thinking this made her weep. And so, oh my, she asked for help and felt crappy all morning. And then received a phone call and a healing took place. Because these problems were completely and utterly mirrored in the other, who was able to make much, in the end, more soft decisions than she must. But it's nice to see. But contrast is contrast is contrast. We will post the Greg Braden one about contrasts. This energy is wonderful for this contrast. As the lights go up, the contrast is greater, and it's easier to see things and to know the way. We suggest when not everyone can see as far as everyone else, and some think it's all poppycock. Good. There's much to disbelieve. That's the thing. So, where there is love, there is light. Where there has been love, there is light. And all things in your reality are there by agreement and by request. That is a biggie. It's important. It puts the responsibility of how you are feeling and what you are thinking and expecting directly on the person who is responsible, and that is, in this case, the one before you. In your case, you. You create your own reality. Oh, well, this one was creating quite a mess last night. But it was in fear that what has passed will be experienced in future. How is this possible, we ask you? And has this not been the admonition of many a channel? It is not time to use the past as the template for the future. Further, such practice, well, it keeps you in one consciousness, does it not? Sure, it's derivative. It is a continuation, yes. And the thing is that as consciousness shifts, then the way that the person expresses may shift. Perhaps not as drastically as the one before you, but can you not see? This was something that was time encapsulated and all that stuff. And she's been very open about all that. It just takes her a while to catch up sometimes. And it's hard to be different. You know? Don't you find that? Aren't you a little different? If you're watching still, it's 2015. So if you're watching still, we would guess that perhaps you have been called different once or twice. It's just to guess. And that's fine. But this one is, well, she's like many of her friends. Different than the most. Different. Just wired differently. And this is a contrast when it becomes more accentuated. Yes? And this is the new energy, which is an accelerant to wherever your consciousness is. Oh, I'm beginning to see this. Okay, so that was the thing. Whoa, zoomy. Ooh, that was wild. It's a free will planet, yes. And it's well within your power to feel as much fear as you want. Go for it, baby. But what you put your limits on, what you limit, that is your reality. That is the shell. It's a shell. It's something that's been written about but only once. And in regard to vehicle, how everyone has the windows rolled up anima, little pods. She sees them as little metallic caskets. Nobody wants to look at anyone else no more. It doesn't matter if you pick your nose. No one's looking anymore. And before, it was friendlier. It was. And then there was a change. And all of this work began to truly get underway. Truly. And it is this energy that visits the planet once again. In cycles it comes. In cycles it sparks. In cycles it moves. On its own accord? When? Certainly not. Much of it magnetic. Translated into the DNA through, the magnetic and the heliosphere of the sun. Just like other things are transmitted. Photons and gamma and many things. Many not yet measured. Many not yet measurable. So, have we not said again and again, this is the new energy? And it's mother energy? And it's different. As is a person functioning at the higher DNA level. This is also the idea. And again we say, she's not the only one. But a spokesperson, yes. Of the first wave, yes. Does it make her a little bit unique? Yes. Does it require that people are open-minded if they want to be around her? Yes. She doesn't need to speak a word, but often she doesn't. The only place she really talks about it is here. But speaks loudly. And for anyone to hear. And that's fine. But in her daily life, no. DNA activation and all that stuff, no. What matters is being able to meet another in whatever the level of understanding or misunderstanding, and as long as they are open, well then, it's more enjoyable conversation. But a healing one, and one that we attend. We would say the truth is that your team attends every conversation as well. What do you think of that? Yes. You are not without help. Of course, this requires, this reality that is being portrayed requires a bit of suspension of disbelief. And we have always said, proof is in the pudding, la la la. And it's been a slow time coming. The pudding has been cooking for a while. But the changes afoot are large. How can they not be? Changing one profession to another. So, she worries that the people who she's loved, she's not going to see again. And she's reminded of all the love she has in her life. And that each expression, each person is in her heart and is loved. In the end, that's all that matters. The rest is preference. The rest is has to do with preference of expression and comfort and expressing herself in a way that makes her happy. We would hope that this might be something that you would want for yourself. Isn't that the idea behind the Facebook posters? Doing what makes you happy. Following your bliss. Not that easy in the end for this one, but getting easier. So, there was sadness. There was despondence. A loss of hope. It was larger than need be described. An emotional one. A lot can be said for that. Emotions are energy. Emotions are a tracer of divinity, you know. We say that the animals in the field, in your home, they are beautiful and they are blessed. And the emotional capacity is that of innate only. It is the other emotions that we are talking about, not the you get when you get bumped in line or whatever. The other emotions, these are divine attributes. They're like music, color, and grand thoughts. They are the way home. They resonate with what is in your heart. And they are tempered with thought. Changed, transmuted, with thought and their traces. Words. So, yes, conversations can be quite important and quite healing. And because of a simple conversation, an activation has indeed occurred and shall be anchored tonight. A profound Thanksgiving. An ecstatic welcome home. We wish you only lives of harmony, balance, and love, as within, so without. Zela.